Welcome back to Absolutely Marvel and DC. My name is Benny, that is Sal, and we're back from vacation. You may be watching this live as it was streamed live at one of our many live locations, such as youtube.com/comicstorian or twitch.tv/comicstorian. For you live viewers, this is just a chance to see behind the scenes. But today is Absolutely Marvel and DC. Sal, that movie that you have been dying to see,
yes,
that you have been waiting with bated breath to see what is going on in it.
2 years I've been waiting for this movie.
It's been pushed back again.
Yep. I can't remember if this is the fourth or sixth time it's been moved back, but yes, Morbius is being pushed back to, ironically, April Fool's Day. You were excited to see it in literally 3 weeks.
I'm the only person in the world who apparently wants to see Morbius.
I mean, I want to see it now, because I'm like, are you kidding me? This thing is a disaster. But I don't want to pay for it.
I don't want to pay. I mean, I agree. I don't really want to pay for it myself.
No.
What I don't understand. Okay, so let's start with. We'll get to the theories as to why this is happening.
Sure.
But let's look at it from a more logistical, legit point of view with no theory or rumors involved in it.
Right.
Why would you move a movie from January to April? There's two reasons I can think of, but what are yours?
There's two major reasons that I have. The most obvious one is just COVID, right? It's just we had 500,000 cases in one day, and Sony went, we have spent too much money on Morbius to just let it die in January, which is Hollywood's dumping ground, January.
It is, which is why everyone thought the movie was going to be terrible.
Exactly.
And then the trailer's like, we mixed every universe.
It's got every universe in it. It's got the Venomverse. It's got the No Way Home universe. It's got everything. This movie could be everything and nothing, and I'm sure it will be. But my expectation, just if you look at it from a logical standpoint, it's just like they want to make some money back. They need to release it sometime when they can recoup their losses. And hey, No Way Home did really well. People are excited. Some people liked that Venom scene, so let's just put out Morbius and see what happens. But let's give it a fighting chance. And with 500,000 COVID cases in a day, it probably won't be January.
Yeah.
Like maybe April.
So that's what I'm thinking. I was thinking the same thing, because one, January is a dumping ground. Two, No Way Home is not going to be out of the theaters by that time, so they're hoping to milk that for as much as possible.
Right? You're so hyped for Spider-Man. You just leave the theater and immediately go right back into the theater and see Morbius.
Yeah. So in COVID, I think is the other reason, because if you got a Spider-Man, you're going to make $1 billion.
Right.
If you've got Eternals, we don't see the numbers. Like, yes, Spider-Man has proven that if you have the right movie in this current pandemic environment, people who anti-vax, vax, political, everybody's gonna go see it.
Right.
But every other movie has proven you're still in the boat of, do I want to risk a pandemic for a movie?
Yep. Everyone just ignores the. I've had that conversation myself. I've been like, oh, should I? Shouldn't I? Spider-Man, I'm like, well, I guess I'm going.
Yeah, you in particular. Eternals, the reason I never saw it in theater is it was in a weird day, in a weird time, and I never bothered going again.
Yeah.
Because it is that situation of, well, they did the review. No one talked about Eternals. I'll just see it on Disney Plus because I have a wife with I have a wife with an autoimmune disease.
Yeah.
We weigh the risk of what we're doing because of that.
Totally.
So I do think that is a core element. They're like, Spider-Man can make $1 billion. Maybe we should give Morbius a better shot.
Yes.
Now, I do think they're going to push it back again. I do. I think that's too close to Batman.
Batman's March, I think, right? So yeah,
March.
It is pretty close.
Unless you have something in that could compete with Batman, and that leads to the theories and rumors.
Yes. Yeah, I guess that's true, but here's the thing about that, because I am still a big Batman fan. I'm still hyped for The Batman, despite any Flash rumors and where the DC universe is going to be in cinemas. But I got to tell you, like, that Batcat trailer, I didn't see it for 2 weeks after it came out. I was just kind of like, okay, Batman. I guess I liked the trailer. Like that first one when it's upside down, amazing, gorgeous trailer. Movie looks dope. But at the same time, like, maybe Batman's not quite as big as he used to be.
It's weird because I have not seen that much promotion for a movie dropping in March.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I know it's dropping in March. I know what it's about. We've got like 2 trailers. The biggest one was the fandom one. It kind of broke the internet for like 6 hours, and that was that.
That's exactly right. No, I mean, like, look at other movies that are tangentially, like Spider-Verse, the animated movie, like, did great, won Oscars, and yet, the trailer dropped, people are like, oh, that's pretty exciting. No Way Home is the last time we're going to see that level of hype until, like, the next Avengers movie.
Yeah. So what could they put into this Morbius movie that they are taking 3 months to do shoots for?
Right.
This is all theory and rumor at this point.
Of course. And I think that while I do, and I think we're all kind of like, yeah, I think they're definitely taking this as an opportunity. Hey, let's just like wait and see when it comes to COVID in 2022. That being said, it is like 3-4 months. And as we've established in the superhero movie world, that's a lot of time.
Yeah.
Like, that movie was shot 2-3 years ago. We don't. They're not doing reshoots. Like, they're not going to shoot a scene with Jared Leto as Morbius, because he wasn't emotive enough in a love scene. Like, they're shooting extra stuff. Like, there is something that they're going to put in there, whether it's and then
in theory, I don't want people to sit here and be like, they said it's going in.
They said it's happening. Yeah, no. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure in my gut that they are going to shoot. Even if they weren't going to, they're like, well, we got 3-4 months. What can we do?
At the minimum, I think it's a Venom shot. Venom himself is being put into a post-credit scene.
That makes sense. I mean, it's clearly Tom Hardy's down to shoot these superfluous post-credit scenes that nobody cares about.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, at bare minimum, we already have confirmation Venom and Tom Hardy are in the Sonyverse. They're already popular. They're already contracted for 80 things. And we, as you said, we've seen Tom Hardy's down to do these scenes. At the bare minimum, I think we're going to get a Venom scene slapped into Morbius to try and link it into everything else because Venom's doing well.
Yeah. That's a smart move. That's a move that I would have expected them to do already. That Venom should already be a post-credit scene that they shot 2 years ago.
Right. And the lovely Twitterverse, and I want to talk more about some of the fun stuff I found on Twitter over because I think we could do a whole we'll do another absolutely Marvel and DC episode right after this before we do the regular podcast.
Yeah.
I want to tell you, remember we had a question, what is the Twitter rumor people going to do when Spider-Man's gone?
Yeah.
Oh, I have found out. Anyway,
because I've seen some angry tweets about comic book movies, but I haven't seen any like new hype replacement for No Way Home.
I've seen what they're trying to get the hype. We'll talk about that in a separate episode.
Okay,
but
all right.
The running prevailing theory right now is that they are going to try and put Andrew Garfield into this movie.
Yeah.
Everyone's taking one line from No Way Home, okay?
Yep.
Look, I'm sorry. I'm not going to really spoil anything for No Way Home if you still haven't seen it. But if you have somehow avoided the knowledge of Andrew Garfield and been on the internet, oh my God, you are my hero.
Well, also, it's ruined for you.
Yeah. I've said it by mistake. But he says one line, I pulled my punches.
Yeah.
And that one line, everyone has gone crazy with. Mm-hmm. And then the running prevailing rumor is now that Sony wants Andrew Garfield in the Sonyverse as Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's the rumor. So the rumor is that, Andrew Garfield was a darling. Everybody loved him as Spider-Man. The only thing they didn't like was his movies. And so now that there is the potential to have multiple Spider-Men in the theater and that each Spider-Man makes $1 billion, why not? And especially because they've heard the rumors. Like, they've heard the scuttlebutt that says folk don't really care if Venom is in the MCU or not. People don't care about seeing Tom Holland versus Tom Hardy. Like, people want that, but barring it, no one's going to go, well, I'm not going to see the new Spider-Man movie starring Tom Holland if Venom's not in it. So if that's the case, but we could still get Spider-Man, well, we got 2 other Spider-Men, and people love them.
Right, and so the biggest things going on the old Spider-Man Twitters that are trying to now rekindle their constant retweets is stating that Andrew Garfield is going to be put into Venom 3,
right?
And now he's going to be the post-credit scene in Morbius,
which is can I say, if they did that, that would be the smartest thing Sony's done in a long time.
Look, the fact of the matter is this: if you don't even have to care about the Sony Spider-Verse. But since its inception, no one has sat here and went, I really want to see a Venom-centric movie. I want to see a Morbius movie.
No.
I'm the world's biggest Venom fan. And even I, when they announced it, was like, oh, without Spider-Man? Oh.
Yeah, no. I'm not. I don't want to see a Morbius movie with no Spider-Man. I don't want to see a Kraven the Hunter movie with no Spider-Man. I don't want to see a Black Cat movie with no Spider-Man. Like, I don't care about any of those.
I want to state real quick, I'm perfectly fine with a Morbius movie, but Spider-Man has to have like a 2-minute cameo. Like, you need to establish that this is the world he's in.
No, they were making a Morbius movie whether there was Spider-Man or not.
Right, and that's my issue with the Morbius movie, the Black Cat movie. What makes Morbius interesting is the world that he is in. Otherwise, we have a vampire movie.
Otherwise, it's a lame vampire movie that makes less sense than normal vampire movies.
Right, Black Cat is interesting because she has dated Spider-Man, will date Spider-Man, or is at least intertwined in the Spider-Man life. Whenever they do solo Black Cat, have you read the solo Black Cat book?
The Jed McKay book. I've heard it's good, but I'm not interested.
But they also gave her like 8 supporting cast members to try and make her into somebody.
You know, that's what they did in the 90s too. Black Cat had a solo series in the 90s, and all they did was load it with other characters. And I'm like, if you believe in Felicia, then like give her a book. Exactly. Don't bog her down with a million other characters to try and like distract you from the fact that she's a supporting Spider-Man cast member.
So I mean that is exactly it. So if these rumors are to be believed, and 90% of them have no trustworthiness. My favorite was a Twitter account tweeting out that they have breaking news that Sony wants to get Andrew Garfield. And I clicked him and I'm like, you have 17,000 followers. I really doubt you have breaking anything. Like,
breaking news, I need people to freaking follow me on Twitter.
Yeah, so I can get real breaking news for you.
Exactly.
But it would be the smartest thing ever. If that rumor is to be believed, it is not just from that source. Like, everyone is saying Sony is hunting Andrew Garfield to be Spider-Man. No shit. They would love to be able to get 5 Spider-Man movies a year out. This is Sony. This is apparently the biggest movie they've ever made now.
Right.
Like, it's topped everything.
Yeah, it's
you don't mean
movie.
to tell me that somebody in Sony's offices was like, so if we put Spider-Man with Spider-Man with Spider-Man with Spider-Man, it worked in Spider-Verse. If we can make it live action, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's just do Spider-Man all year. What?
It used to be that people would be confused. That used to be, I mean, that's always been the case. Hollywood's always second-guessing the audience and going like, people can be confused if there's 2 of anything. So we need to reboot, right? After Amazing Spider-Man, people are like, oh, I really like Gwen and Peter's chemistry. I really like those actors, but these movies are garbage. You know, maybe we'll bring her back. Maybe we'll figure it out. But they went, you know what? We can't make this work, especially in the MCU if we're going to make any kind of deal. So let's just reboot. Let's just start over. Nowadays, because multiverse is on the lips of everybody, not just comic book fans, but Hollywood executives, actors, audience members who understand a multiverse, who understand the concept of there being like multiple different realities and that they could necessarily bump into each other. Now, the sky's the limit. It used to be, you know, like, I remember Disney being like, we're going to have a Star Wars movie in Christmas and a Marvel movie in May, and we'll make $2 billion a year at least. And it's like, that's a brilliant strategy pre-COVID. Sony could be like, we could have a Spider-Man movie a year if we play our cards right.
They just do the Call of Duty method.
Yeah.
A different team makes a different game every year.
That's exactly it. Yeah, and
we would have a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, I'll wait for Black Ops rather than Modern Warfare.
Yeah, that's all it's going to be. I'll wait for Andrew Garfield. Oh, Tom Holland's next year? When's the next Miles into the Spider-Verse one? When's that?
Right. They have a potential for 3 Spider-Man franchises, one off the back of Venom, but like 3 Spider-Man franchises where Venom, because there's nothing about the Venomverse in either of those movies that don't make it part of the Mark Webb, Andrew Garfield universe. There's nothing about that says like, oh, this doesn't work, especially because Venom's like really cartoonishly ridiculous, and so is everyone in that universe.
Yeah.
You could easily do that. Although, I think Ravencroft appeared in Let There Be Carnage, and you know what? Nobody cares. It's the same Ravencroft. Nobody cares. Yeah.
One of our viewers, because like I said, we are doing this particular episode live, said that, well, COD has been very meh for the last few years. As a person who plays COD, I agree with you. Although COD has also broken record sales every year.
Yeah, no, I dropped off after COD 3. Or COD Bo 3. But, you know, the metaphor is still there. It still works.
Right. So All right. Anyway, that is the situation with the Morbius stuff and everything that's going on with that.
Yeah.
As far as we know, that's our opinions. As we get more information, we'll be talking all kinds of rumor shit here.
No doubt.
Don't forget to stick around, like, subscribe, join the Absolute Armada today by joining Absolutely Marvel and DC to get your daily discussions on TV shows, rumors, philosophical talks, discussions. We do it all here, man. Join us. We'll see you next time.